Well, good morning and happy Friday to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from gorgeous San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I hope you guys are fired up and ready for a fantastic Friday today. Do you know this day is going to go just about as good as you decide it is going to be? If you've been listening to my videos, you realize that you have the power to be a thermostat in your life rather than a thermometer that goes up or down, up or down, up or down, depending on what's going on around you. And you can show up with joy and gratitude because that is your, good morning, Don, that is your standing. Your standing is you know who you are, you know what you're about, you know that this joy you have, hopefully the world didn't give it to you, therefore the world can't take it away. There's a difference between your state and your standing. So this morning, I want to revisit a concept of extreme ownership that will help you. Now, I realize I am not a cheerleader. I don't carry pom-poms and a smile. I'm a coach. I carry a whistle and a scowl because my goal is to create enough discomfort through this conversation that it causes you to pause, to ponder, and to reflect to determine if there is another way when you feel stuck or trapped or feeling like there's not another way. That's my goal for you today. So the number one limiting belief and excuse that I experience as a coach, business coaching, executive performance coaching, helping people to operate at the highest levels of effectiveness and efficiency to arrive at the outcomes they have decided for themselves, is this excuse. But Steve, I just don't have time. Well, I just don't have time. I'd like to be in shape for that. I don't have time to go to the gym. I'd like to do a date night. I know it's important. I just don't have time for that. I'd really like to read more books. I just don't have time for that. I would like to cook more dinners. I just don't have time for that. I would like to take my children on one-on-one get-togethers. I just don't have time for that. I would really do the work that I want to do. I just don't have time for it. I used to love to paint when I was a kid. It might be nice to pick it up again. I just don't have time for that. Bull honky is what I have to say. That's a Texas word, y'all. Listen to what I'm about to share with you because this nugget will transform your life if you change the language that you use. Here is the language you use. Never, ever, 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 please, for me, please never say, but I don't have time for that. Please don't agree with the thoughts in your head that say, I don't have time for that. I know that's what you believe, and I know you truly believe that. It is not true, and I'm about to prove it to you. What you must learn to say is when they say, hey, did you and your wife go on a date night this week? No, I didn't have time. Hey, did you complete that project you had this week? No, I didn't have time. Hey, did you do the work you were supposed to do this week? No, I didn't have time. Hey, did you make it to the gym this week? No, I didn't have time. Did you read that chapter in the book as we agreed? I didn't have time. No. Here's what you learn to say. Y'all ready for this? I'm going to do a countdown. 5. Did you go out on a date with your wife this week? It wasn't a priority. Did you make it to the gym this week? It wasn't a priority. Did you read that chapter as we agreed to? It wasn't a priority. Did you complete that project? It wasn't a priority. Do you see, ladies and gentlemen? You have the time. You have the time, and I have the time. You make time for the things that are actually, truly important to you. You make excuses for the things that you say are your priority, but they're really not. They're great to say at parties and at clubs and at events and with friends. Yes, I love my family. I love working out. I love reading books. When was the last book you read? Well, I got a lot of them on my stand. When was the last time you went to the gym? I drove past it yesterday. When was the last time you spent one-on-one time with the kids? Well, yeah, hey, how are Spurs doing? Change the subject. You don't get to say it anymore if you're in my world. You cannot say, I didn't have time. If I hold a client accountable, they know for a fact in the coaching contract to work with me one-on-one personally, you must sign a waiver that the broker of our company took an insurance policy out on me for. It is a throat punch waiver. I didn't have time. Right in the throat, baby. You just go down for a couple seconds. It'll hurt for about a week. You'll get over it, but it's a pattern interrupt. I get to throat punch you. You agree to that. You can never say, in my presence, I didn't have time. The only acceptable answer, which sucks because the true answer should be, I did it. And if you have to say the other one, you can only say it wasn't a priority. It wasn't a priority. Did you make it to the gym? It wasn't a priority. Did you read to your daughter last night? It wasn't a priority. You guys going on date night? Not a priority. You no longer get to say, I don't have time. I promise you, every one of you makes time for the things that are truly important to you. So if you want to have a checkup from the neck up to see if you have some stinking thinking, here's how I will quiz you on this. I'm going to ask you a question. Does your audio truly match your video? Are you walking the talk? Does your audio truly match your video? Is what you say is important to you? Does that actually show up in your life? What if I was to tell all of y'all, hey, guess what? I spent 10 grand on the world's best private investigator. He's been secretly following you around for the past 2 weeks and has written a report of the things that happen from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed for 2 weeks. You say your priority is God and then family and then your business. This report right here, ooh, I think we have a discrepancy between what you say is important to you and what's showing up in your schedule, and what's showing up on your checkbook, and what's showing up in your daily life, and what's showing up in your personal decisions. I love reading. Reading is amazing. Reading is incredible. I just don't have time for reading. That's a damn lie. You Netflixed for 3 hours last night. Netflix was just a priority. Now listen to me. That's not bad. You're not a bad person. I want to help you understand. This isn't about being a good or bad person. This is about limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves. I didn't have time is a limiting belief. Sugar pie, honey plum, you have time. I have time. Okay, I've been married for 26 years. I have 7 children. Okay, some are gone. But I raised 7 children while running a real estate practice and building a coaching company. And let me share this with you. If there was any boy on earth that could say, I didn't have time, it would be this boy right here. Yet I knew I have the same 24 hours as the most productive people on the planet. I must be purposeful and intentional about a couple things. One, I have to know exactly what I need to do to move the ball down the field. Number 2, I have to write it in my schedule and commit to exactly when I'm going to do that. And number 3, if I really want to rock and roll, I have to pick up the phone and get some accountability. Hey, buddy, if I'm not at the gym at 5 a.m., every day this week, I'm going to write you a check for $5,000. Way to go, Brother Steve. Oh, I know. Did you pucker just a minute? Well, guess what? When the pain of writing the check for $5,000 is more than the pain of getting up at 4:20 a.m. to get to the gym at 5 a.m. so that you can knock out many of your goals, which might be to get into great shape, to be able to spend some time alone planning, maybe praying, maybe reading your Bible, maybe talking with your spouse, maybe having breakfast with your kids, maybe not having to rush out the door, putting your mascara on in the car while you're driving, scaring the crap out of the rest of us. You know, there are some things you can do. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's possible. I'm not saying that it's not difficult. I'm saying it's possible. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be incredibly challenging. I'm just telling you it's possible. I am removing your excuse and your excuse and yours and yours and yours. And I'm blowing them in the wind to help you understand that you make time for what's really important to you. And you make excuses for the things that are not. It's just that simple. You're known for execution or excuses, reasons or results. You can't have both. So how would I like to end this today? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to encourage you to ask yourself this question as soon as you hear yourself in your brain say, I don't have time for that. When your friends ask you about doing something and you say, I don't have time, tell them, crazy old gray-haired, gray-bearded Coach Collins learnt me a lesson Friday, and it's this. It's not a priority. Hey, girl, you want to go out with us this weekend? I don't have time. No, hold on a second. Not a priority. Girl, that is cold-blooded. No, girl, I'm trying to be a boss, babe. I got some stuff. I got some goals. I got some things I'm trying to knock out and crush, and it's a priority right now. I'm going to put in the time now so that I can do things like that later with plenty of fat stacks in the bank and the freedom to run my schedule however I like. I'm sacrificing now to do that. So it's not that you're not important, baby doll. You're important to me. Girls, I want to be with y'all. The thing is, it's just not a priority right now. I have a priority right now. And who knows, maybe one day y'all be up on my yacht, girls, and we'll have drinks somewhere else other than Cover 3 or whatever it may be. You have a choice every single day. Most of you are not making those choices consciously. You're just in a bad habit pattern. You just have bad habits. You just got used to doing things a certain way, and you're on autopilot. And you don't even realize that you are one major decision away from beginning a brand new life. You don't have time? I call bullshit. You got plenty of time. It's just not a priority. Have a great weekend.